Oh. Okay, well that was a weird start to the video. My camera flipped. Okay, well, I'm here, back again, at the same trail. I just feel so comfortable on this trail. And because I don't have the backpack yet, which I'm getting today apparently. Oh, by the way, it's like 11:30, I think. So I just want to mention that before I forget. But yeah, the backpack's supposed to be coming today, and then the packing cubes tomorrow. So I can finally start figuring out how much space I actually have. But I feel really comfortable on this trail to the point where I don't feel like I need the backpack. That's why I do this trail for now. I think I mentioned that before, but yeah, I want to maybe later today or tomorrow I will build the backpack. And what I mean by that is figure out what realistically I would like to have in my backpack when I'm walking. I also want to see if a Yeti water bottle will fit on the little side pockets. So we'll see. But yeah. So oh man. Okay. I've been thinking about, well, first of all, okay. Jesus Christ. All right, I'm gonna switch. Let's start from the beginning. So this morning I woke up, took a shower. That was the first thing I did. Then I did some meditation. It wasn't much, because I just kept getting bombarded by, which is, by the way, just weird for me. My mind is usually just void. But today, there's this VTuber that I enjoy watching. She's kind of the only one that I still watch. Her name is Kumi, and she just feels so real compared to, like, not saying that the other VTubers and people that stream aren't real, but she's just unapologetically herself, and that's what I enjoy about her. So yeah. Anyway, so she has a sound alert that just keeps playing in my head. And I'm like, fuck. Like, why? Why is this happening? So it was a little hard to clear my thoughts today. Again, usually my thoughts are just void, so it's pretty easy for me to clear them. So I don't know what that really means, but yeah, I figured I would mention that. Also, I did some energy practice after. I'm testing out some things. So, like, I'm trying, oh man, it did in fact rain yesterday, so there's little puddles. This is also where I need to get the boots. Keep putting them off. since I don't want to be inside all day, and I don't have any reason really to be on the computer, maybe what I'll do is I'll go get boots, and then maybe I'll eat at Chopped. There's this vegetable place. Well, but they kind of, I don't know. Well, I'll see what, I don't know what the plan is. But tomorrow I am in fact going to be gone all day. And what I want to do is while I'm there, I want to maybe film something there. I don't know. I've thought about it, and it's like I don't really care too much about if people figure out where I'm at. But I'm thinking the main thing is I don't want to just randomly do a walk or something in a trail that I just don't know. So I thought about that. But at the same time, I could also, I'll have a backpack. So theoretically, I'll be, I don't know, it just feels a little stupid. But also, at the same time, I'm going to need to get used to doing trails I don't know. So, I'm not too sure. But, yeah. Anyway. So I wanted to mention something that I've been struggling with. I don't know if I brought it up or not, but it was a few days ago. There was a video that someone made. It was a reader. And they, Jesus, I think I need to blow my nose. Hold on one sec. Okay. I think that's better. Anyway, so there's a reader, Jesus. There's a reader that made a video talking about how, and I really resonated with this, that for most of my life, I've been hoping and waiting for someone to save me. And what does that really mean? It's kind of like, I don't know, I've just felt wrong being here. And obviously, like, there's two sides of this. It's like there's a deep wrongness I feel where I feel confined in my own body because I feel like I'm much larger than I actually exhibit inside of my body, if that makes sense. And, you know, no magic being here. Again, it's like a deep thing where I feel like I've been in universes in the past that have magic, and that I made an agreement to come here, even though I'm not a fan of the fact that there isn't like a system in place that allows for people to learn magic and all of this other stuff, right? Because I do think that, you know, as I've thought about it more, I do think that mana probably does, or some form of energy, does probably exist that can be harnessed and manipulated. But I just don't think that we have the training to be able to do that. But I do think we have the capability of doing it, which is why I'm practicing the energy manipulation and trying to see what I can do. But anyway, it just feels wrong. So there's that. And taking kind of that perspective and combining it with the feeling that I'm here for something really important. I wouldn't have picked coming here if it wasn't for whatever this important thing is I'm supposed to be doing. There's this feeling that I'm kind of just waiting. I'm in the waiting room for someone to show up and... Oh, it's a truck. For someone to show up and kind of... I don't know, make all this make sense. And so when that reader mentioned the idea that I'm basically waiting for someone to save me, I'm like, yeah, it kind of feels like that. And the person then said, this feeling or this desire to hope that someone will come save you is what's stopping you from the things that you want. And I'm like, fuck. You know, I don't know. I've been so brain rotted when it comes to some of the internet meme stuff. The fuck! It's like, oh shit, I almost fell and died. You know that, like, that thing where it's like an echoing fuck? It's just, every time I say fuck, I just think of that in my head as like it just echoes. And I'm like, oh my god. But anyway, brain rotting aside, I think I need to blow my nose again. By the way, it's a really nice day out today. It's not too warm, nice and breezy. It's nice. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. So there's been this kind of thought that I'm kind of waiting to be saved. And this waiting to be saved, it's like, I don't know how to fix that, because I do feel like I'm waiting. And obviously I'm doing, like, I feel like I'm waiting, but I'm also doing the thing, which is, you know, doing my walks, preparing for, you know, I'm removing all of the baggage I have, both when it comes to the living situation and the physical possessions I have and all that stuff. So I'm just avoiding puddles. And so it's like I'm doing the thing. But there also is in the back of my head this thought that maybe someone's going to show up and everything's going to change in a really positive way. Because, I don't know, like that's what everyone keeps kind of saying in the readings. It's like, now obviously it's not personal readings, they're collective readings, but I've resonated really strongly with a lot of these readings. And it's like, you know, I need to be independent, but within that independence, there is like a soul family that's coming in, a partner. And so I'm like, okay, well, you know, in my head, I'm thinking like, well, isn't this effectively being saved? Because I feel, I don't know, like, I feel like all of the things that I've been wanting really boil down to well, the first thing that came to my head was like being loved in a really deep way. You know, I love myself, and that's taken a long time to really get to the point I'm at, where I do love myself just as much as I love other people. But, you know, doesn't mean I don't want to feel what it's like to have a partner that loves and cares about me as much as I love and care about other people. So it's like, okay, I understand that that's a major desire there. And, you know, on top of that, there's this idea that having a soul family of people that really get me on a deeper level and are on a similar kind of journey, and, you know, there's like support there. you know, those are the things that I really desire on a deep level. And so it's kind of like I'm aware that it kind of, what's the best way to describe this? It's basically overlapping with the desire to be saved. And why is it a desire to be saved? Because I'm very disillusioned with current reality. I just don't resonate with anything that's going on around me. You know, the fact that I can live in a situation where the roommates don't give a fuck about anything when it comes to like the kitchen, or, you know, they're so blasé about just kind of I don't know, it feels like they're showing more of their true colors as it gets closer and closer to the time I'm leaving. And it's very interesting because the one roommate is super happy. He's the happiest I've seen him, like, ever. And it's because, in my opinion, this is just my perspective, I get the feeling that he's happy I'm leaving because he's always felt like I've tried to take his place, which is not the case. I haven't been trying to take his place. And so I just feel like it's this, like, he's genuinely happy that I'm leaving. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I can feel that. And then the second roommate, he's doing the thing where he's like, why aren't you paying attention to me? Why aren't you hanging out with me? You're being so mean. But then he goes off and is gone from the house for the entire week. And then he's like, when it's his time where he doesn't have things going on, suddenly I'm the big bad guy that isn't hanging out with him. And I'm like, okay, well, like, I mean, I knew that this person was, like, selfish, but, like, damn, like, it's more and more clear to me. And then the last roommate, they've kind of, I don't know, they've really, like, there's this, like, almost like professional politeness that has shown up. And I'm like, where's this from? Because I felt like I've had a really good friendship with both this one and then the one who's a bit more selfish. And, you know, I'm obviously doing my own thing, and I'm busy, and I'm, you know, like, I'm trying to get prepared And so obviously I'm not making a huge amount of time for anyone. And that's not intentional. That's just like, I have a limited amount of time left, so I need to focus and make sure that I am fully prepared. And I don't know, I just get the feeling that it's like they're acting like I'm already gone before I even leave, if that makes sense. And so I don't know, like, there's like that side of things. And then there's another side, which is like, I just feel I can feel the wrongness of where I'm currently living. Not, you know, aside from the roommates, like, it's like the physical place is just wrong. Not supposed to be there. And I don't know, my sleep is like really rough recently. I don't really understand why. Maybe it's just a feeling of wrongness. But like, oh my God, yesterday's sleep, not today's sleep, or not this morning, but the day before, it was so crazy how bad that sleep was. I was having some really rough times. And I don't know, this morning, like, you know, my sides are hurting from my bed, and I don't know, it's just not really meshing well. So, man, I see so many snails today. They're just out in force. I mean, I saw a bunch of slugs too, but I haven't seen very many snails just in the middle of the walkway. So yeah. So I've just kind of, you know, there's that, and then there's also feeling like it's almost like tensed muscles waiting for the starting gun to shoot in order to like run. And I don't know, it just kind of, it's making it harder to exist on a day-to-day in the same spaces that I have existed in. So all that to say, I know that someone's coming to change things up, or that I'm gonna meet someone or whatever. And this is where I'm in this weird limbo of, I do feel like this is like the person's going to effectively save me by bringing me out of a situation that doesn't fit anymore. But because I feel that way, and because I'm like, oh, finally, I've been waiting my whole life, it also makes me go, okay, well, if I'm not supposed to feel like someone's saving me, what perspective am I supposed to have in order to just do my thing? And it's like, okay, how can I shift in another way? How can I shift my perspective such that I basically I can know that someone's coming, or a group of people, whatever it is. You know, I think that my gut is telling me, or my intuition rather, is telling me that there is some sort of, I don't know, what's the best way to describe this? Basically, there's an opportunity that will show up. And I think the person bringing the opportunity is also going to introduce me to people in some way. I don't know if that means I'll be introduced to the person that is like the partner, or if it's something else entirely. I don't know. But there's definitely something that is coming that will kind of bring me around to meeting people in a specific way or something. I need to blow my nose. And there's a nice little thing I can set it on. Okay, sorry. Man, there's a lot of slugs. I'm gonna switch hands, actually. Because my left bicep is starting to burn from holding it for so long. Yeah, so I'm not too sure what my perspective shift needs to be, because at the end of the day, someone's showing up. So doesn't it just kind of feel like semantics that, oh, there's a little snail guy. Oh. It just feels like semantics. And I'm really unsure of what I can do internally that will change the way I view this encounter going. Man, it's quiet. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, I know that I have my own autonomy, and I'm also aware that I don't know if you guys heard that. Oh, okay. There's like a camp site of some kind, or a little area that people are at over there. So anyway, so you know, it's like I'm aware that part of this whole thing is I don't want to be beholden to people. Like, so I don't want to have the unhealthy attachments, you know, like the trauma bond and all of the other stuff. Like obviously I don't want that. Okay. I'm at the hill. Do I want to go up again? Kind of curious on this way. So I'm going to go this way a little bit. But anyway, my point is, there's a difference between someone coming to give an opportunity, if you'll take it, versus someone saving you. And I think that this difference is the difference I'm supposed to be making internally. Because someone giving you an opportunity implies that... What was that? Huh. I'm gonna turn around. I don't know what that was. Pretty sure you guys heard that, right? I need to blow my nose. One sec. Okay. So, there's a difference between me being saved and me getting an opportunity. And I think I need to be very specific on what those differences are. I think maybe that's the thing that I need to do. Because... So, okay, here, let me work it out right now while we're sitting here. I say sitting here, I'm walking, but okay. So, getting an opportunity. What does that imply? It implies that I have a choice and that I am deserving of that opportunity because it shows up and I've done all the work that makes the opportunity appear. Being saved implies that what's the best way? It implies that there's some sort of charity going on, or the opportunity is given, not because I earned it, but because there's maybe like feeling sorry for me or whatever. There's also this idea that I couldn't have done it without this helping hand, that I needed someone to come in and literally rescue, save, whatever you want to call it. So the real thing is, how do I fix, I say fix, how do I guess this is a healing moment. How do I heal this wanting to be saved? What is it about the saving part that I'm clinging to? Well, in the past, I've definitely felt undeserving. So I think that's part of it. There's some dying embers of this feeling not deserving of the opportunity. And then there's also, I guess I'm questioning my value. Okay. Okay, I think I'm getting to the heart of it. I don't know. Well, okay, I do know. I just kind of changed it. So I was gonna say I don't know what value I bring. But the thing is, I do know some of the value I bring. I just don't know all of it, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is, okay. Wow, there are so many slugs. It's like crazy. All right. So I guess what I should do is I should list out what I know about myself that is valuable. I think that's the first thing I need to do. And I need to blow my nose again. Let me think about this. All right. So I think the first thing that comes to mind on what is valuable. Oh, okay, yeah, it's I thought I had a bunch of smudges on the camera, and then I remembered that that's not the lens. Anyway, okay. This is hard for me, which I think makes it all the more important for me to do this. All right, so first, hi dragonflies. First, my perspective on reality and life, I think that is very valuable. I am unique in that I have lived a very specific life that has brought me to this point. So I can talk about the deeper, darker issues that people go through because I've lived them. So I think that's a really valuable part of who I am. Next, I think that the way I love is... Hi, little bird. Hi. I'm just walking past. You can... Hi, little guy. Hi. He was so close to me. Okay. So, the way that I love, the unconditional love that I do have for people, I think that is also something very valuable. There's like a deep desire to show my love for people in all sorts of ways. And so I'll give you an example when it comes to the roommates. And I know this is going to be counterintuitive. The roommates, one of the reasons that I've been... Again, I'm not intentionally trying to make myself unavailable, but I'm not putting them first. I'm not really thinking about their feelings or their thoughts in the same weight that I was previously. Not because I don't care about them or love them, but because I realized that I was actually hampering their own journeys by me kind of taking on different aspects that they're struggling with. And so this is a way, so I've shifted the way that I show my love to them by giving them more opportunities to figure out their path. And it sounds weird. I'm not trying to do some sort of logic puzzle. But I genuinely think that I've kind of been a crutch that they've relied on to figure stuff out, to do a bunch of stuff. Like, an example, the old roommate being removed from the house, I was the bad guy there, because I was the one who was kind of pushing everything along to make it all happen, because none of them were willing to do it. They would bitch and complain and moan and cry about it behind that roommate's back, but they would never actually stand up for themselves. And so I took it upon myself to stand up for everyone. Now, was that helpful to them? In the short term, yes. Because the whole situation got like got resolved in a relatively peaceful way, and it was very important. For me personally, that was actually a big moment of me standing up for my friends and for myself and all of this other stuff. So like, that was a huge helpful moment for me. However, the lessons that they could have learned through that whole thing, I think were dampened because I took on the responsibility to make it all happen. They never once took initiative to actively push away the negative things that were happening. They were willing to sweep it under the rug. And so I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with what they did, but it just means that this is something that they're going to have to go through again with someone or something that where they have to stand up for their own perspectives and their own thoughts. And so you can see how I was a crutch in that situation. I obviously learned a lot from the encounter, and it really put into focus and showcased that I can stand out and stand up for the people I care about. And that's in both ways. Because I still care about the person who got removed. But I'm no longer going to allow them to drain resources from me because they feel entitled to them. And a lot of it is my fault, because I kind of allowed the door to be open for that to be a possibility, right? So, but anyway, so my point is, this love that I have can mutate and morph into whatever is needed for the situation. Even if, you know, what some would call tough love, where I understand now, like for an example, the way that my mom kind of, I don't necessarily agree with her, what she did, but I can see the logic in her kicking me out of that condo I used to live in when I was younger. And I can understand that she was worried that I wouldn't spread my wings and go forth and figure out how to like apply for homes and get homes and all that stuff, getting rent, being off on my own, and not kind of using my grandfather's stuff as a crutch to not interact with reality. So I'll say, as much as it felt shitty in the moment, I'm glad it happened, because I did go through a period of growth on figuring out all these different things. So this is why I think this idea of tough love is another facet of love. Because I know that my mom unconditionally loved me. / loves me. Because I know she's still there. It's just, she's changed forms, if you will. She's not physically here. But spiritually, she's still out there. So this is why I think it's important to understand that love doesn't always look like hugs and kisses and, you know, coddling people. Sometimes love is tougher, where you basically spend time doing what you know you can do in order to help other people grow or give more opportunities. I'm not saying you need to I'm not saying you need to plan out someone else's life for them or force them to do something that they don't want to do. That's not what I'm talking about with this. What I'm talking about is allowing. Oh, that feels so good. The wind is so good. But what I'm talking about is the kind of love that opens up the possibility of allowing them to make their own choices, whoever it is that you love, without interference. You can be there to support them in the background, but you have to let everyone live autonomously and make their own decisions. You can't coddle people and try and protect them. That is a selfish way of trying to love someone that will end up stunting their growth here. I think this is also a reason why, parents do some of the things they do, where they try to get their kid out into the world, even if they love them dearly. Because they know that the kid needs to go out and make mistakes. And that's a different form of love, helping them to have a safe way of making mistakes. So this is an understanding I have regarding unconditional love, where I think this is an incredibly valuable understanding, and is something that I know that there are other people who understand and feel this, but I think I'm rare among other people. So I think that's something of value that I do bring to the table as well. So that's the second thing. What's the third thing? Oh, we're at an hour. I'm not gonna make it back before I have to switch batteries. So I think I'm gonna switch batteries here. So give me a sec. Hello. Okay, I'm back. All right. So the third thing. What is the third thing? I think the third thing I bring that is valuable is the idea of flexibility when it comes to my mindset. I'm always trying to grow and change and evolve, and that includes my understanding of reality and the world, the universe, all that stuff. And so I won't marry myself to a position that I will fight to the death on. I say that as I think about the fact that I'm very married to magic being real. But I don't know, I think that's a bit different. Because when it comes to stuff like magic, I think that having the position magic isn't real and can't be real is the narrow position, the narrow-minded position. And I'm still open. You know, I don't have any specifics on what magic will look like. I just know that something's out there. And I think that's where the distinction lies between being married to something and knowing that there's more out there. It's kind of also acknowledging that the reality we're living in is a small subset of all of reality. It's a tiny sliver. And so I think this understanding of allowing an open mind to the possibility that really anything you could dream up could exist. I'm not saying definitively it does, but what I am saying is that allowing for the possibilities and having a true open mind is crucial for allowing new information to come to you and to learn about. So an example, my buddy had been telling me for years about this whole like Pizzagate thing and the fucking people eating people, like literal cannibalism thing. And you know, I was like, okay, it could happen, but like, I'm not gonna put much weight into it. Like, that seems pretty fucked, if it's really happening. And, you know, lo and behold, we find out it's real. And so it's like, oh my God, like, wow. I can't believe that that was actually happening. And so, and also I just want to say, it's not about being right. It's about being open. You know, obviously, if someone tries to manipulate you or pressure you into something, you know, that's where being open is also dangerous. And so you have to have protections in place, ways of understanding the situation. Oh wow, this was not here last time I came around, so this must have just fallen. Big branch. Anyway, so what does this actually mean? It means that I feel both flexible enough and that I have systems in place in order to suss out when someone's being genuine with a new perspective versus when someone is trying to manipulate me. Gotta be careful if that branches that big are falling. Just need to make sure if I hear anything, I need to be looking up. But yeah. So this is why sorry, my knee is like it's giving me some problems, my left knee. I think it's because I slept on it a little bit weird. Anyway, so I bring to the table a ever-changing perspective that allows for whatever could exist. I won't outright just write it off. I'll instead try and figure out from a love perspective, like, what is it? Why is this being brought up? What are the reasonings behind the person mentioning this? So on and so forth. In order to come to a conclusion about the information. And I'm not saying you should discount someone because of a first impression or because of a first kind of passover. I'm very careful with what I do in order to kind of filter things, because I don't want to filter something wrongly. This is why I'm so back and forth about things, because I'm not sure. I don't have like 100% certainty about anything. I may be 99% sure about something, but I still allow for that 1%. You know, like an example, I'm very sure internally that these 3 things I've been bringing up are valuable. But there's a small bit of me that questions and wonders, is it valuable? And I think this is where that questioning, that ever questioning, is the thing that makes it hard for me to really... I need to blow my nose. It makes it really hard for me to be 100% sure. And that's kind of the downside of this kind of thinking. But I think the trade-offs are well worth it. So hold on one sec. Because I've found that if I try to be more rigid on a specific perspective, inevitably something later down the line will show up to tweak the perspective in some way. And if I'm rigid, I can't make those tweaks. That's why I think it's so important to be open. And that's what I bring to the table, is this openness. Now, I'm obviously going to try and do my due diligence, but, you know. I think another thing that I bring to a value is I genuinely do my best to, how do I say this? It's like, I do my best to try and look at things from every perspective I can. So just like this fluid kind of openness, there's also, I have an ability to jump into someone else's perspective and really think about them and what their perspective would actually look like, why things are happening the way they are for them. And I think this is so helpful when it comes to understanding people, understanding their motives, understanding why they do what they do. It's so crucial. So I think that's important. I'm almost back. So let me try and think of if there's anything else aside from this. I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't have much time. Okay. I think spiritually, I bring a lot to the table. Because I can feel, I feel something. I don't know if it's a gift or gifts. I'm not sure what it is. But there's some sort of energy thing that I don't know how to really use that exists there. So purely from like a spiritual perspective, I think that's kind of a big deal. That I'm tapped in some way. And I don't know what that actually entails or turns into or whatever. But I just at least know it's there. What else? I think I'm genuinely a nice person to hang out with. Once I kind of feel comfortable, I really try to open up and I try to just genuinely be me. And I think that genuineness, I mean, you guys have seen in these videos, I'm just trying to be real. And that's why it bothers me when I have to edit things, because I like having that just me being me, and there's nothing in between. I'm not trying to cut stuff out. I'm not trying to you know, it's like, yeah, I'm just trying to be me in all of my meanness. And from what I've gathered, people enjoy being with me and hanging out. So I think that's also something that I bring to the table. And I'm sure there's more stuff, but like, I think I'm, you know, obviously I'm just about here, but I think also that's a lot already. You know, I don't want to, when doing all this stuff and saying all this, I made sure not to bring up stuff that, oh, there goes another tree, a tree branch. I try to say stuff that doesn't have anything to do with physical reality when it comes to like material things, you know, because the things that I'm looking for aren't material. And so the things that I hope the people that are going to be interacting with me, I hope they too are not looking for material stuff. I want them to be interested in me, not in what I can provide. And I think that's something that I feel the same way. I'm not looking, like if I wanted material things, I would get a job. I would try and make money and just get the things. That's not what I want. So, yeah. So I guess circling back around, This is the reason why I am worthy and I do have value. And I'm not being rescued. Instead, I'm being given an opportunity in order to go on a new adventure. And that is why I'm not being rescued. Okay. Okay. That feels good. I'm gonna let you guys go. I also, my knee feels really fucking messed up today. Feels almost like it's, like out of alignment or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I guess I'll see you guys tonight. All right, bye. Oh. Hey guys, it is 9:57, and yeah, I just wanted to kind of touch base. I didn't do too much after, but I did get the backpack, and I also got a water bottle. It is a 24-ounce Yeti, and it does, in fact... Okay, I haven't actually tested it on the backpack, but I got something equivalent in radius, and it fit totally fine. It was a tight fit, but it was like, it could fit. So, I ended up rinsing it out, and then I'm going to fill it tomorrow, and bring it with me, just as a test to see. I might throw in some ice cubes and just see how long it stays cold. But yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to be heading to go, what's it called? To go get fitted for the suit. So we'll see. Something that... this sounds really bizarre to do, but there was a podcast that I was watching, and in the podcast, one of the guys was like, something that I did when it comes to like fear or being worried about something, just do the thing that you're afraid of. And he used, it's poignant because this is kind of how one of my fears that I have towards this whole thing is the idea that I'm going to be homeless. And so he's like, so you know what you need to do? You know what I did when I was afraid of this homelessness stuff? I literally just went out into my car, got a little like mattress, and just slept in my car. And, you know, I did that. And I just tested to see, like, okay, now, you know, pretend that you're homeless. Okay, you're homeless, now what? And he kind of mentioned that once you do that, and you kind of live the thing you're afraid of, there's this kind of release that happens. because you faced your fear and because you realized it actually isn't as bad as you initially thought it would be. Um, so yeah. So I'm going to. I don't know when. I kind of want to make sure that I have like this. Here, let me get it. I have this guy. Oh, that I got for like camping stuff. And so I was thinking that plus the mattress topper, I think should be fine. So I was thinking about camera froze and mic got fucked. I don't know. Um, but yeah, so I was thinking about finding a spot and then just doing it for a night. Um, to do the thing that he kind of mentioned. So the only thing I really want before I do that is I was thinking about just doing it tomorrow, but I want to have like a front little visor thing for my windshield. Just it's like a privacy thing. Um, so yeah, but after that, uh, I could really do it whenever. So I think I'll get the visor thing, and then I will figure out from there what to do. Um, but yeah. Also, there was a uh, where is it? I was reading. Um, there was this Reddit community post. Where is it? Here we go. People were people were talking about how the car model that I have is actually really great for this. It's not a van, but it has a lot of space and you can kind of do a lot with it. And I was like, okay, great. so, so that's cool. And people have like posted their setups and it's very interesting. So yeah, regardless, I'll see what happens, but yeah. So it's something to keep in mind. Also, I checked my savings, and I'm actually, I think, better off than I thought I was. I'm still, it's still like not enough to like do much past like a year of like renting and doing whatever, but like I'm not really I don't think I have to worry as much as I initially have been feeling. And I think I really do need to like face this fear. Because yeah, it's just I don't know. It's yeah, it's just something that I really do think I need to face. So, what my plan is the day that I do that. I'm gonna do like a little vlog, show you guys like how I set everything up, and kind of just see what it's like. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go, but I'll try to sneak a quick vlog in the morning when I wake up. I want to leave by 11 because my appointment's at 3. So I figure if I leave by 11, it's a 3-ish hour like trip down there. That accounts for like in case anything weird happens. But yeah. So I don't know. I I think things will be fine. I just need to see what happens and kind of let things progress. So, yeah. I guess I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.